Welcome to Defiant Nation Radio, where we defy the narrative that our culture is feeding us. We defy the idea that the scriptures cannot be trusted, and we defy the idea that the God of the Bible does not exist. We defy the idea that we have evolved from monkeys. At Defiant Nation Radio, we uphold the solas of the Reformation. We uphold the scriptures. We believe that salvation is by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone. Defiant Nation Radio is the podcast ministry of EternityAtStake.com.
So one of the things I want to do and try to do with my ministry as I'm speaking and teaching and things like that is to be a conduit and provide connecting points. So books, videos, articles, things that are more extensive, because when you listen to a podcast or you're maybe listening to somebody talk, maybe it's on DVD, maybe you're in a classroom, they mention something and you're like, where did they get that from? How do I figure that out? Well, I want to be that conduit, help people to connect so they can go and study more on their own, verify what I'm saying, but then also know the information for themselves. And talking about this whole social justice issue, if you have not seen Dinesh D'Souza's Death of a Nation, you must watch that, because it will help you to understand American history in a way that you probably have never understood it before. It's going to help you understand what was going on with the KKK, what was going on with slavery. Right now we have a number of Christian organizations like the Gospel Coalition that are very, very politically motivated, very left-leaning, and I would argue very Marxist in much of their teaching and theology, liberation theology. Tim Keller, Thabiti Anyabwile, it's a mess. And so you need to understand what they're trying to tell you. As they're trying to say, well, as a Christian, you should be supporting Democrats. You should be against Trump. Well, you need to understand what they're saying, what they're talking about, especially when it deals with social justice. They're trying to, play the white privilege card. They're trying to deal with, lay as much white guilt on everybody as they can. And the gospel is colorblind. And we should be colorblind when we're interacting with people. We should, red, white, black, brown, doesn't matter. We should love on them. We should be sharing Christ with them. We should be ministering to and with them. You've got to understand the KKK and slavery, and then take the step to understand Marxism and liberation theology, social justice, so that you can put these pieces together. We are watching just within the last year. So I say we, I include myself in that. I'm a little nobody. I get to teach at my church and have done so for many years on this stuff. But I'm talking about a number of people I mentioned in the first video that I like to follow. Todd Friel with Wretched Radio, J.D. Hall, Pirate Christian Radio, Chris Roseborough, a number of these guys, John MacArthur, a number of these guys have been warning about this. Brandon House has been warning about this for years, and I've been telling as many people as I can. But my goal is to hopefully help put some pieces together in the curriculum and stuff that I'm writing, so that it's an easy package and easy to understand, and then hopefully spread out into more information. But we're watching right now, in the evangelical church, in conservative evangelical circles, just this last year at Together for the Gospel, it was like boom, out of nowhere we got, which Thabiti Anyabwile has been, which, by the way, that's not his real name. His real name is Ron Burns. You got to check into that and figure out why is he still using the name Thabiti Anyabwile. But Thabiti's been social justice warrior from the beginning. But this year we got David Platt talking about it. We got Al Mohler talking about it. Even Ligon Duncan mentions it. And I love these guys, but man, I just out of nowhere, and suddenly you're going, what in the world's going on? We find out these guys are getting massive amounts of money from some very questionable sources, and I'm wondering, is that what's going on? What are these guys thinking? Thankful that John MacArthur has not bought into this. He's not spreading this. Matter of fact, he's the founder and initial signer of the Dallas Statement on Social Justice. Big issue right now is the Shepherds Conference, where a number of these guys, this is MacArthur's conference, where a number of these guys are still invited to come to the Shepherds Conference, and so everybody's just like, "Come on, John, what's going on? Come on, Phil, what are you allowing?" I'm driving by my sheep right now. You can see a few of them out here having a good time. We're supposed to be getting a lot of snow in tonight and tomorrow. 4 to 7 inches will be our first real snowfall of the year. But anyways, so in the past, in kind of conservative evangelical circles, we haven't been dealing with this. Matt Chandler, I mean, he's, white privilege this, white privilege that, and you're just going, what in the world's going on with this? I mean, guys that have been so solid for so long, and just doesn't make any sense. So are these guys, have they not been aware of the issues over the years? Have they not been studying this stuff, and so now they're listening and buying into this because of their own perceived guilt? What's going on with this? Al Mohler, Russell Moore, I mean, these guys are social justice through and through. So you got a number of these guys also sitting at the Immigration Roundtable that is funded for evangelicals, that is funded by George Soros. If you don't know anything about George Soros, he's a one world order guy, wants a one world government. His goal is to bring down the West, destroy the church in America, destroy the scriptures so that he can remake it in the image, the world literally in the image that he wants. He's literally said that. Sometime I'll try and post the video of him saying that. But this is a guy who hates the scriptures, and he is funding a number of these people. I mentioned a number of the guys at Together for the Gospel that are getting big dollar amounts. We know that Ligon Duncan, the school there, is getting big money from James Riotti, who has been kicked out of our country. I'll give you more details on that. I'm obviously sitting in my car right now, but he's a Clinton cash guy. He's a guy that supported Clintons for years and years and years, and he's been pouring money into the kind of the reform community, seeking to bring social justice to the forefront. So, oh man, these are just huge issues that are a problem, and nobody in the church has been ready for it. The average person doesn't know a Marxist from a hole in the ground. So we have got to understand what Marxism is, understand what socialism is, and prepare our hearts and minds to deal with these things, because the foundation, you can't have a little bit of Marxism and a little bit of the Bible. You can't have a little bit of Marxism and a little bit of Christianity. They can't combine. They cannot come together. They are antithetical completely. I'll deal more with capitalism and stuff in the future, but just some names to throw out to you so you can begin to think about these ideas, start looking up what's going on. As I mentioned, J.D. Hall, Pulpit and Pen, Brandon House, Worldview Weekend, Todd Friel, Wretched Radio. These guys have been doing an awesome job following, keeping up with this stuff. New Apostolic Reformation stuff. We're seeing all this stuff come together. We're watching all the religions of the world come together, and then we're starting to hear, all these supposed evangelicals. Oh, well, we need to join with these one world order people. We need to join with these one world government people. You're just going, what in the world? Is everybody just lost their minds at the same time? So, I don't know. Some more on that in the future. Yeah, that's all I want to say right now. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Bye.
If you're interested in learning more, preparing yourself better to witness, go to the website eternityatstake.com. We have several series on there. One of them is Maps from the Ancients. It covers manuscripts, archaeology, prophecy, science, and the resurrection. How do we know the Bible can be trusted? It's great for a homeschool study, great for a Sunday school class, great for an adult or teen class as well. We also have the Light Project, where I look at 8 cults and world religions, examining them. What do they do with God, with Christ, with the Bible, with salvation, heaven, hell, and things like that? Check it out today. Thanks for listening.